Hi, I'm Dana Obelman, creator of the No Sweat Potty Training. And today I want to talk about something that not very many people like to talk about, but I'm just going to be right up honest with you, and we're going to talk about poop. If you have a 2 or 3-year-old child, you've had your fair share of experience with poop. So I think we're okay to talk about it fairly openly here. Now, one of the things a lot of people find when they start potty training is that children master going pee in the potty quite quickly. You'll find by the end of your first day that your child's doing quite well with the pee, and they're excited about it, and they're getting lots of rewards for going, and so that part is mastered fairly quickly. But what a lot of people struggle with is the issue of going poop on the potty. And I think it has a lot to do with the different feeling that happens when a child is going poop. And, you know, when you think about it, they've spent a lot of years, or at least a couple of years, having bowel movements in their diaper. And that would be a very different sensation than letting a bowel movement go into a toilet or into a potty. And so for some children that becomes a bit of a scary sensation. And the difference in feel and what is involved becomes problematic for them. And it tends, and I don't want to set you up for failure, but boys do tend to have a slightly harder time mastering bowel movements than girls. And some of the research I've done on it suggests that children become a bit anxious about going poop because they feel like, something inside them is falling out, like they're losing a piece of their insides, and that can be quite scary for them at first. So it's important to talk a little bit about it, that everybody has a bowel movement, that it's not scary, and there's nothing wrong with the child when you have one. It's just a normal part of everybody's day, and that the best place to do that is on the toilet. And so if you've been working at this for a few weeks or even a month, and you're really finding that the poop issue is causing quite a bit of trouble, you might have to increase your reward for going poop. And I can remember with my first son in particular, we were having quite a bit of trouble with him using the toilet for going poo. And so that was a solution to that. We said, we know this is a harder thing for you, and you're doing so great with the pee. Now, if you have a bowel movement on the toilet, you can pick out of a box of Hot Wheels, and you can pick yourself out a toy. And so the Smartie wasn't working so well for the bowel movement issue, and so upping the reward can often help. Or maybe it's a bigger treat. Maybe a Smartie's not going to cut it, but a small Halloween-sized chocolate bar will. And so start talking about that. And again, I talked about the issue of time, that sometimes going to the bathroom takes time. And busy toddlers don't like to slow down too much, and they don't like to take the time. And so there's a few things you can do in the bathroom that can encourage a child to sit long enough that the body can sort of start moving things and having that release. And one good idea is setting a timer so that your child knows you need to stay on that potty until the timer goes, and then if you haven't done anything, you can leave, and we'll try again, in another half an hour. And then it's not so much your fault, you're not forcing them to sit on that toilet, you're not, demanding that they produce anything. You're just saying, I want you to try until the timer goes, and then you can get off. Sometimes taking in a book maybe for the child to look at while they're waiting for that timer to go can help, or asking them to sing you a couple of songs while they're there can help distract them long enough to let that happen. And if you're having the reverse problem, I know some people have written in and said, You know, I don't have any trouble getting him to stay on the toilet, but I can't get him off. He's in there and he's stalling. Usually around bedtime, children like to stall by going to the bathroom. And you can set the timer for that too, that says, you know what, you have 2 minutes here to do your business, and then it's time to get off and go back to bed. Okay, so that's some of my suggestions for dealing with the poo issue, and trust that it's going to come. I mean, eventually your child's going to get the hang of this. Eventually they're going to do it enough times that they realize it's not scary. Make sure you keep them well hydrated. If they've been holding it for too long, it's easy to become constipated. So you really want to make sure that you're giving them lots of hydration. You might even have to introduce a little bit of prune juice or some sort of juice to kind of keep things moving along so they don't get too constipated. Because if a child has a bowel movement and they've been quite constipated, that can hurt a little bit, and that's the last thing you want to have happen, because now they're going to associate going poop with pain. So really keep that in mind if you're struggling with that. Okay, so thanks for watching. Good luck.